In this presentation, I will be demonstrating the entitlement that Asian Americans have received in the United States of America as the model minorities. I will be examining the coherent aspects of Asian Americans becoming the model minority group in America through their educational attainment, the 1965 Immigration Act, and their economic superiority. This research into this topic will be projecting the gradual but positive recognition that Asian Americans receive even through facing severe discriminatory obstacles. Asian Americans were able to overcome various laws enforced by the American government. They endured through unjust circumstances, and they were still able to prevail and became curated as the model minority. Now, Asian Americans come from all over the Asian continent, which spreads from all the way from Eastern Asia all the way to the Middle East. Now, these countries include East Asians, Southeast Asians, Pacific Islanders, as well as Indians and many other Middle Eastern countries. Now, when Asian Americans arrived in the United States, they faced many barriers of racism and discrimination that was generated from the earliest of the 19th century, which included the Chinese Exclusion Act, as well as additional regulations that were implemented upon the Asian race here in the United States. They were seen as a yellow peril and were seen as a threat to the culture that was already embedded in American agribusiness. Therefore, many individuals were opposed to Asian Americans migrating to the United States, and there were many unjust and illegal activities that were curated against Asian Americans, such as the Executive Order 9066 and anti-miscegenation laws. I will be examining the incarceration rates and the level of crimes that are committed by Asian Americans, Latinos, and African Americans here in the United States of America. Now, for the most part, African Americans have committed the most crimes proportionate to their population. Second is Latinos, and third are Asian Americans, who come in last. They have the lowest crime rate in the United States compared to the proportion of their population. Now, African Americans make up 39 million people in the United States. 2,317,000 people have been convicted of crimes, which equals 6.1% of the population in the demographics of African Americans. Now, for Asian Americans, there are a total of 17 million residents in the United States, and 128,000 people who have been convicted of crimes, which equates to 0.71%, which is a very low percentage, and it does not even equal to 1%. Now, for the Latinos and Hispanics, there are roughly 45 million residents residing in the United States. Of those 45 million, 1,221,066 people were convicted of crimes, which equals 2.71% of the total demographics of Latinos and Hispanics. Asian American males and females have come a long way here in the United States, starting from agribusiness, building the railroad, and doing very laborious activities. Now they have endured those obstacles, and Asian American men and women have the highest hourly wage when compared with other ethnicities in the United States of America. Asian men, for example, are earning $24 an hour compared to black men who make $15 an hour, as well as Hispanic men who only make $14 an hour. So there's a great disparity between African Americans, Latinos, and Asian Americans. Now, the disparity that can be observed between their wage gaps of African Americans, Hispanics, and Asian Americans can be correlated to their personal educational achievements that they have earned, which translates into a higher earning and better paying career. For instance, when you look at the numbers, Asian Americans have the highest percentage of graduates according to their population. 52% of Asian Americans have graduated with a bachelor's degree. Now, that is the highest in percentage of proportionality compared to Hispanics and African Americans. Now, because of these educational achievements, Asian Americans have been able to earn the highest hourly wage when compared to African American and Latino men. For instance, Asian men earn $24 an hour, African American men earn $15, Latino men earn $14, and Asian women earn $18 an hour, which is more than African and Latino men. Now, Asian American couples have a lower divorce rate when compared to African Americans and Hispanics living in the United States of America. Now, these are the reasons why Asian Americans aren't considered the model minority, because they have low crime rates, they have high educational achievements, they earn the highest hourly wage, and they have low divorce rates, and therefore this has earned them the label of becoming the model minorities here in the United States of America.